Kadesh. It's Joey Moss with Bad Boy Gaming, and we have Final Fantasy. A lot to talk about, so let's get into it right now.
Welcome to the first look at Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy. The legends from 16 games are represented in this set, which includes 4 commander decks. Featured in the 4 decks are Terra, Herald of Hope from Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VII, Tidus, Yuna's Guardian from Final Fantasy X, and Y'shtola, Knights Blessed from Final Fantasy XIV.
Okay, let's pause it right there. Take a look at what we got here. So Terra, Herald of Hope. These are the commander decks, so when it comes to like the power, some commanders are really powerful though, you know? And I'm glad the price of them usually is not very high because there's an abundance of them and they usually end up getting reprinted down the road. But it's all good. It's all good things. Terra, Herald of Hope. 3-drop. Trance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, mill 2 cards. Terra gains flying until end of turn. And whenever Terra deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2. When you do, return target creature card with power 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That's kind of neat. Okay. There's a little bit of evasion there with the flying, you know. Okay. You could, wait, is it, oh, it's combat damage. If it was just damage, I mean, there's a lot of tricks you could do along the way, but all right, she's all right. She's cool. Cloud ex-soldier. When Cloud enters, he does have haste. Look at that huge sword. Love it, man. Attach up to 1 target equipment you control to it. It's a 5-drop. Whenever Cloud attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control. That could snowball. Then if Cloud has power 7 or greater, I like how they word that now, has power 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens. All right, so some rampage going on there. Definitely equip. If you're not running equipment, you don't want this in your deck. Pro tip. But I want it for the haste. Wrong. Not bad. Tidus, Yuna's Guardian. 3-drop. This is at the beginning of combat on your turn. You may move a counter from target creature you control onto a second target creature you control. Wait. You may move a counter from target creature you control onto a second. Why did they word it like that? Onto a second. Why would it say onto another target creature you control? Why does it say second creature? You're moving the counter. It's not like the counter staying, right? On both of them. So I don't know why they worded it like that. If someone wants to fill me in, please. And then we have Cheer. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control with counters on them deal combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. And Proliferate. I do like that. Do this only once each turn. Why can't we abuse you, Tidus? All right. And then over here on the far right, I'll just show you all the... Whoops. I will show you all the goods here. Right, meow. That's the full art. Knights Blessed. Okay. Legendary creature. Cat Warlock. Vigilance at the beginning of each end step. If a player lost 4 or more life this turn, you draw a card. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater. How do you say that? Y'shtola. Deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. Drain the old main. The old, why can't I say it? The drain and gain. Yeah, there you go. Not bad. Deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. I like that. So you're draining your opponent and you're getting some life. Got to be 3 or greater. So, I mean, how often is that going to pop off? Plus, it's not like in colors that really ramp, you know, a lot. But artifacts, you know, and mana rocks are a thing. So I'm sure it's going to get abused quite well. All right. Okay. Let's keep this train a-rockin', man.
Which card will command your deck?
Which card will command your deck?
In this set, you'll find the boss monsters you love from Final Fantasy.
Let's take a look. 7-drop, Jumbo Hector. Now, let me hear your guys', not opinion, but let me know a little history about you. When I grew up, Back in my day, I played Dragon Warrior a lot. I didn't get into Final Fantasy. I think I played a couple of the games, but it was Dragon Warrior that sucked me in, initially. They call it something else, Dragon something, I don't know, overseas, but that was a heck of a game. And it's funny because Dragon Warrior adopted the Final Fantasy, kind of elements where there's like 4 different characters running around the map, Phantasy Star, I played that. That's another really fun one. But what is your guys' favorite RPG? Yeah. I'm like, is it RPG? Yes, it's a role-playing game. I sometimes play those in the bedroom. Giggity. 10,000 needles. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets... Give it trample. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets plus 999,000. 9,999 plus 0 until end of turn. Oh, the downside, that plus 0. No thanks. All right, some Kakators live long lives and grow huge. This Jumbo Kakator is one of them. But yeah, what games did you guys grow up playing with? And there's the alternate. Okay, pretty neat. Truck it along.
Like on this Jumbo Cactuar card. And this Sin Spira's Punishment card.
Hold on, I just want to move this down a tiny bit. So there we go. It's a little better. This is Sin Spira's Punishment. Cool art. I like it. It's more like old school Magic-esque on the left there. So 7/7, 7-drop, 7/7 flying, legendary creature Leviathan avatar. Whenever Sin enters or attacks, exile a permanent card from your graveyard at random. The random stuff. Then create a tap token that's a copy of that card. If the exiled card is a land card, repeat this process. That's kind of neat. I dig it. I dig it. Okay. We're still trucking along.
And the whimsy of Final Fantasy is here too. Check out these Tonberry, Stiltskin Moogle Merchant.
Tonberry. This creature enters tapped with a stun counter on it. If it would become untapped, remove a stun counter from it instead. Chef's Knife. During your turn, this creature has first strike and death touch. Only during your turn. It's a 2/1 power and toughness cards that are 1-drops are just blow my mind. They keep putting more stat lines on them, but this one, that one's kind of a little powerhouse for a 1-drop 2/1. But it does enter stacked with a stun. If it would become untapped, remove a stun counter from it. Okay. I like the first strike death touch. I mean, that's nice. But it's only during your turn, so you're going to want to be attacking heavy with that. Here's Moogle Merchant in all of its glory. Lifelink, 1-drop. 1/2. Deuce. Target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. Oh, man. Yeah. Give them hell, dude. Just anything that sucks. Gains control. It has to be a target, well, of course, target permanent. That'd be cool if they gain control of your, like a spell, like you lose the game. Oh, man. One with nothing. Is it one with nothingness? Right? But that's a spell, right? Or is it end the turn and you lose the game? What is one with nothingness? I can't remember. Someone fill me in. I can't remember. I'm getting young. All right. So that's a 1/2. And then there is the other alternate art version of it. All right. I'll keep it trucking.
And Saz's
Chocobo
Chocobo
let me know your
cards.
guys' thoughts as we continue. Oh, there's another one. Saz's Chocoba. Kukuba. 1-drop 0/1, a landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Yeah, that can be abused, but if it was if they had it starting out as a 1/2, that'd be cool. But a 0/1, this is kind of yawn, But that little bird can grow to be so big. Are we going to see red? Is there red? A red? You would think.
Double-faced cards show character progression or different forms of the...
All right, double-face card, Garland, Knight of Cornelia. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Surveil 1. Okay, that helps a little bit. And then for a whole lot, 7. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield, transformed. Activate only as a sorcery. I, Garland, will knock you all down.
The same creature. For example, Garland, Knight of Cornelia, becomes Chaos the Endless.
Chaos the Endless. Flying when chaos dies. Put it on the bottom of its owner's library. That doesn't seem all that powerful. I feel like I'm missing something here. I don't know. I get that, you know, it really never goes away unless it's exiled, but even as you die again and again, I shall return. Not if you get exiled, pal. You know?
With matched increase to power and toughness. Cecil Dark Knight and Cecil Redeemed Paladin reflect Cecil's journey in Final Fantasy IV.
Okay, Cecil Dark Knight. Death Touch, one drop, 2, 3. Seen it all, man. Legendary creature, human knight. Darkness. I like that ability name. Whenever Cecil, is it Cecil? Can we call him Cecil? The Cecil Hotel. Deals damage, you lose that much life. Oh. Then, if your total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, untap Cecil and transform it. 4/4 lifelink. Protect whenever Cecil attacks other attacking creatures, gain indestructible until end of turn. Swing away, baby. Gain a whole bunch of life and nothing dies. That is a force to be reckoned with, though. This one's definitely more powerful than the first transformed card, for sure, or double-sided, whatever you call it. All right. I like the flip side of Cecil over here. That's pretty powerful. We've seen that with Gideon, you know, or like just even when he would just get indestructible. But if you have your whole team swinging in, that's sick, man. That really is. Let me know what card you guys think has
this
the most
Emet-Selch Unsundered card becomes Hades, Sorcerer of Elves, when turned to its opposite.
Let's take a look at this. Unsundered. 3-drop. Elder Wizard, Vigilance. Whenever Emet-Selch enters or attacks, draw a card, then discard a card at the beginning of your upkeep. If there are 14 or more cards in your graveyard, you may transform Emet-Selch. Emet-Selch. All right. So it's got a little bit of looting on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 14 or more cards in your graveyard, you may transform. Okay. 6/6 with Vigilance. Echo of the Lost. During your turn, you may play cards from your graveyard. I like that. If a card, that's powerful. If a card or token would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exile and said, all right, so it can't be too abused once it hits the graveyard when that's in play. If a card or token would be put into your graveyard from anywhere. So you have to like, that's kind of crappy in a sense, you know, because it can't be like really abused, I guess you could say. Because once this is on the field, then anything that hits that graveyard, it's not coming back out. Yeah. I kind of forgot that tokens go in the graveyard. Interesting.
Side.
Thoughts on Emet-Selch?
With side quest, catch a fish. You can go fishing, then turn the card over and cook the fish with Cooking Campsite.
Whoop.
To produce a food token card.
Excuse me. And we're back. Side quest, catch a fish. Enchantment 3-drop. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's an artifact or creature card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you put a card into your hand this way, create a food token and transform this enchantment. It becomes a land, a little campsite. All right. Cooking Campsite, sure. Get a little bit of mana out of it. For 3, tap, sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. It's doing white stuff, you know? It's doing white stuff, guys. So there you go.
New in this set are summons, shown here on this Shiva card.
All right, this is Shiva. Heavenly Strike, tap target creature an opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. It's a saga, boy. It's a girl. It's whatever it wants to identify as. Diamond Dust. Draw a card for each tapped creature your opponents control. So yeah, that's cool. Find cards that just tap down your opponent's creatures, and you know, you're gonna draw a bunch of cards on that third saga. Sure.
card. Summons are saga creatures that combine features of a saga and a creature, so you can go through the steps of the saga and attack or defend at the same time. The Final Fantasy Through the Ages bonus sheet features well-known art from Final Fantasy.
That's cool. Bonus sheet. Creature, Elder Dragon, flying. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. You create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. Wait, we know what this is. Yeah, that's Ancient Copper Dragon. I just now saw it right here. I'm like, this card sounds familiar. That's a powerhouse, man. Yeah, well, he got the old reprinter-roo. So how do you get that? How do you get your hands on one of those?
Fantasy's history. Dragon at Mount Gulk features art by Yoshitaka Amano. And Yuffie Kisaragi shows art from Tetsuya Nomura.
Oh, that's cool. I like these. I really like these. They kind of remind me almost of like tokens, you know, like it's just complete full art. I mean, minus the bottom where they, you know, have their copyright and the artist's name on the card and some set information, but that's pretty cool. Okay, so there's Yuriko coming back at it.
You'll find these favorites and more you love from Final Fantasy 1 through Final Fantasy 16. Sephiroth Planet's Heir and Cloud Planet's Champion cards.
Starter kit. Let's take a look. I do like some starter kits. They're pretty fun. 6-drop legendary creature, human avatar soldier, vigilance. It's got vigilance, guys. Does it even care about vigilance that much? I mean, when you have a whole squad of cards with vigilance on the field, that's a problem. That's a problem. Vigilance haste is really nasty. So when Sephiroth enters, creatures your opponent's control get -2/-2 until end of turn. I like that. He's a 6-drop, though. Also legendary. And mythic. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Sephiroth. I mean, you're just a bigger vanilla, you know, after that. You got vigilance, so you have something there. Man, I do like Final Fantasy artwork. It's slick. Cloud Planet's Champion over here. During your turn, as long as Cloud is equipped, it has double strike and indestructible. This creature deals both first strike and regular combat damage. We already know about that. Equip abilities you activate that target Cloud cost 2 less to activate. 4/4. That could be a problem. Whoa, hey, why'd you do that? Hey, man, I didn't even ask. Who did that? Wow. Okay, moving along.
Face off and ready to play decks from the starter kit. Check them out.
If you made it this far. If you're brand new and this is your first video,
all of this and more in Magic the Gathering.
All right, here's wow. Look at all that. Look at all that stuff. Oh, look. Oh, they have special ones.
Gathering Final Fantasy.
Special commander decks.
Available June 13th. Shape your Magic story.
June 13th. My birthday is June 20th. P.O. Box, link in P.O. Box in the description. Yeah, if it's your first time ever watching this, please let me know. All right, I'm going to find some good parts of this now. All right, let's hear a little bit about the set.
Yeah, so Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy is a full tentpole booster release that's legal in all formats coming out in June. The set celebrates all 16 mainline games, so if you're a fan of some of the earlier Pixel era content, there's absolutely going to be stuff for you. If you're a fan of some of the more modern titles like FF16, 15, or some of the MMORPGs in 11 and 14, those are also included in the set. Many of our team members have expertise throughout the history of Final Fantasy. So there were people who were super passionate about making sure we got Final Fantasy 5 correct, and Final Fantasy 3 correct, and the Final Fantasy 14 experience and how that differs from some of the other titles. So we went super, super deep to make sure that we accurately represented each of the mainline games in this. And as part of that, this is one of the largest or biggest design challenges I think we've probably ever had for Magic and for Universes Beyond. So as a kind of self-imposed limitation for the set, the main set specifically is limited to all 16 mainline titles. So for example, Final Fantasy X is in the set. Final Fantasy X unfortunately did not make it. That was a
Wait, you said Final Fantasy X and then Final Fantasy X. You said
Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2.
Okay.
The sequel and spin-offs are unfortunately not in. That is just entirely due to the sheer scale of content. You really could have made multiple different sets, but in order for us to get this correct and to make sure that we really accurately represented specifically many of the earlier games and the breadth of the entire mainline series, we imposed that design limitation.
All right. Yeah, that's from the actual Magic the Gathering channel on YouTube. But I went through the rest of the video. There's not really too much more to learn other than these are the collector commander decks, and these are the regular ones. That's pretty neat because we've seen the price on some of these. What was it? Which ones was it? They did this before, probably more than once. Was it 4K or 40K? I want to say, right? They did it with 40K. That was crazy. Those are still worth a lot of money. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, WoW. WoW's right. Universes Beyond Warhammer, 40K, whatever you want to guys call it. For all of them, $763. That's like the fancy version of them. And then they do have the regular, which go for quite a bit less, as you can see. But man, some of these cards, really high price. They're basically like foiled out, right? If I can recall correct. But I mean, that's kind of the gist right now of what we know of the Final Fantasy set that's coming out. They also mentioned basically if the character was ever a big deal in the Final Fantasy journey, then that character, will be a part of the set. But if it's like a real tiny deal, probably not, And also that they cut out the add-ons and stuff. You got to do what you got to do. You don't got enough room, But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. Which cards do you think are going to be fun to play with? Obviously, the starter kit ones are not like the most sought after. But some of them, can reach a few bucks, $4 or $5, $6, depending. And they always throw in like an uncommon that's a common or an uncommon. Usually it's an uncommon that's only gonna be like in that set, and it's the only time it's been printed, and it usually drives the price of that card up like $2, $3, $4 or something. But yeah, pretty sweet. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Skadoosh.